Okay. So we help sales teams, especially inside sales teams in B2B companies. We help them do outbound sales. So typically, if you look at a lot of companies and inside sales teams, they have leads coming in which are inbound, and then they have an outbound channel. Now, inbound leads typically come when you're doing content marketing, you're doing search engine advertising, etc. Now, it's not very predictable. It's sort of you write a great blog post, you get 100 visitors, and the next 3 months you don't get anything. So it's tough to predict and tough to sort of channel. Whereas outbound as a platform, outbound as a channel is highly predictable, and it's one of those things. It's a highly sizable channel that a lot of companies do not use currently. So what are the challenges in executing an outbound sales platform? Now, as a sales rep, you need to find high quality leads. You need to find people who are your target audience, who are your target customers, and you need to find accurate contact information. Once you have that, then you need to be able to write customized messages to each of your customers or each of your prospects and make it meaningful for them so that they will read your messages, they will reply to your messages. You need to find a way to send a lot of these mails, and you need to find a way to send it in a manner that it doesn't land up in spam, it doesn't land up in promotional, it lands up in their primary inbox and so on. And finally, most important, you need to follow up 6, 7, 8 times before you get a response. Even if somebody is interested in your product, they just don't have the time to respond. And then the final challenge a lot of people face, salespeople face, is they're spending a lot of their time doing administrative work. They're plugging in data in Salesforce, they're managing duplicates, they're keeping track of next follow-up date. So our question was, how can we make the life of an outbound salesperson more simpler, and how can we help them scale better? So there are 2 parts to our solution. The first part is a prospector, and the second part is an emailer. So using our prospector, it's a Chrome plugin using which you can go to LinkedIn, enter your search criteria, and you will see a list of prospects who fit your criteria. With one click, you can import their profiles. With another click, you can find anybody's email address. And so as a salesperson, in an hour or 2, you can easily find 100 to 150 prospects every day who you can reach out to. And then we have an emailer, which is a customized emailer. Mails go from your mailbox, and automatic follow-ups are built into it. A couple of snapshots. So if you look at this, there is a prospect button that you can see circled over there. So when you enter your search criteria in LinkedIn, just hit that prospect button, and automatically that person gets imported. There's a find email button. Just click that button. We run a bunch of permutation combinations, and we're able to find accurate email IDs for almost a lot of profiles. And then this is the personalized emailer. So what this emailer does is, it says on day 1, send this prospect this first email. Then wait for 3 days. If there is no response, send them the second email. Wait for another 3 days. If there is no response, send them a follow-up email. And you can do A/B testing. There are a bunch of bells and whistles around it to figure out which of your messages are resonating well. You can track which of your messages are getting opened, are they getting clicked, etc. So if there's one thing you take away from this presentation, it should be this slide, and that is the power of follow-ups. Now here is a 6-stage email that one of our clients sent. So the first stage, on day 1, you send an email introducing yourself. On day 3, you check in and say, hey, did you get a chance to see my email? Just following up. Wait for a few days, and then don't keep saying that, hey, did you see my email? Did you see my email, etc. Try to add value. So add some value and say, hey, here's something interesting in your industry that you may want to read. Bring in a new angle saying that, hey, did you know that you could save time and money by doing X, Y, Z? So a new value proposition. Say something funny that makes them laugh. And then a final email saying that, hey, I haven't heard back, so I'm presuming you're not interested. And so just break it off with them. So this is one of the campaigns that one of our clients executed. And you can see the reply rates in the bottom. That's the important part. Most of us send 1 email, maybe 2 emails. We get 5% response rates, and then we move on in life. Actually, as you keep sending these types of emails, your reply rates even go up, which means if you have sent these 6 or 7 emails, a lot of our customers see 25 to 45% response rates on their cold email campaigns. So what we are not, we are not a CRM. We don't try to replace your CRM. We work with your CRM. We currently integrate with Salesforce. We integrate with Pipedrive. We are planning to build a bunch of other integrations with various other CRMs. We are not a mass emailer or a bulk emailer tool, so we cannot blast out 10,000 emails to various people. We are a personalized communication tool. We have a lot of restrictions in terms of how many people you can contact. Make sure it's personalized. It goes from your outbox. It has to come back to your inbox, and so on. So it's not promotional. It doesn't get flagged as spam, and so on. So just to summarize key benefits, using Clenty, you can put in place a highly predictable, a highly scalable outbound sales process. Each salesperson can reach 7,500 new prospects every day consistently. You can send customized emails at scale, no follow-ups, just send it once and forget about it. The minute there's a reply, you can now worry about following up or talking to them in person. Your CRM is completely up to date, so don't worry about if you're writing to 100 people a day, you just don't have the time to go and update your CRM records for 100 people and so on. So all of that happens automatically, and behind it, so you don't have to worry about it. And finally, why is it so predictable? Because you know that once you have established this process, you know that say if I send 100 emails out, I'm going to get 25 people who will reply. I can set up 15 demos. I can convert 5 of those. So once you've established that process, it's highly scalable. All you need to know is how many hundreds of such emails can I send out, how many more people can I find who fit my criteria, and how do I scale my outbound sales. So that's it.
Questions? Okay. Can we please get a mic here? Yeah.
Good presentation. This is about saying something funny at a later stage where you said the reply rate is 7%, not open rate, reply rate.
That's right, reply rate.
But how do you customize or personalize something like funny? Because a CEO may have a different sense of humor versus somebody at a manager level. So how do you, and you're saying you have automated it, right? Saying something funny. Yeah. So can you throw some light on that?
So the way it works is the first time you create that series of emails, you have to say something funny in that. So I'll give an example of what somebody says. So one of the campaigns you've seen is, hey, I've sent you 5 emails, you haven't got a reply from you. Either you're not interested, or maybe you're being held hostage by some Somali pirates. We also do that as a moonlighting, let me know if you want us to rescue you. Something like that, which just, looks slightly different, something funny, that's all.
And it's automated, yeah?
It's
so
automated.
you have made 5, 6 responses, standard one, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Hi.
We have one question there,
Yeah.
please.
I saw your presentation. Do you have any live case study where your solution has worked? Can you share an experience where the earlier company was making, say, 10 prospects a day, and now they are using your solution, and the prospecting has increased?
Absolutely. So, one of our early customers is an Australian, software product company.
Okay.
And, they started off, the customer wrote back to me saying that, hey, your product has actually dramatically changed the sales organization in my company.
Okay.
Prior to this, we would send one email, we would forget to follow up, we'll try and keep track of it on Excel. It just takes too much, we'll never follow up. Whereas with this, using our tool, we are able to get 45% response rates. Those are the response rate that they get on one of the campaigns that they send.
Okay.
So it's definitely improved life for a lot of people.
Okay. I have another question, small question. Usually, it takes a person who's selling needs to follow up many times, first time, second time, third time. So at the 5th stage, usually the sale gets closed. So how do you tackle this issue with this technology?
So you can choose what you want. So some people just send 3 stages, 3 steps. Some people like to do 7, 8 steps. Actually, in the US, most people talk about 7 to 8 being the magic number in terms of number of follow-ups you can do. So in our system, you can do as many as you want. You set it up depending upon your cohort. So if you're talking to people who are more free, then you expect higher response rate, do 3, 4. Or you don't want to bombard them too much. If you want to keep persisting, so I don't know if you've read this. There's this guy who talks about Steli of Close.io. He talks about doing 43, 44 follow-ups before he got a response, and the guy responded saying, hey, sorry, I didn't get back to you, but I'm really interested, but I didn't get a chance. Let's do this. So, follow-ups work, and, and if they don't want it, they can just click unsubscribe. They can just say, I'm not interested, and automatically it gets pulled out.
All right. Thank you very much, Clenty.